Oi, you! Get out! Some Arab, sir! Looks like one of their muleteers. He's in a bad way.
Good Lord. Someone didn't like him. How on earth to get here?
Probably came from Basra, sir. Though how he managed it on foot with all them bullets in him is nothing short of a miracle.
Is he still alive?
Just.
Right. Move him into the shed, give him some water. Nothing more we can do.
Something is coming.
Great Scott! He's English. All right, old fellow. You're safe now. Corporal.
Sir.
Fetch the medic, quickly.
Sir.
Captain, this message. Urgent.
All right, old fellow. I've got it, old man. I'll see it gets to General Delamain. Never fear.
Something is coming from the west. Khazreddin.
Greenmantle by John Buchan. Dramatized by Patricia Hannah. Part 1. November 1915.
The sight of the name Bullivant on a telegram form carried me back 18 months to that business with German spies before the war. I hadn't seen the man since, though I had read about him in the newspapers.
Everything all right, Dick?
For more than a year I had been a busy battalion officer, and there was no prouder man on earth than Richard Hannay when he took his Lennox Highlanders over the parapets on that glorious and bloody 25th day of September. Loose was no picnic, but it was a tea party to the show I had been in with Bullivant, when I had hunted and been hunted by agents of the Black Stone.
Not bad news, I hope.
What's that, Sandy?
The telegram. Not bad news.
It's from Sir Walter Bullivant. He wants to see me.
Hello? Well, that means you've got the battalion. Congratulations, old fellow.
No, Sir Walter's Foreign Office. Nothing to do with straightforward fighting. Not a word from him since that 39 Steps business. Now this telegram. What on earth can the Foreign Office want with an obscure major in the Lennox Highlanders?
Well, I probably heard what a good show you put on at Loose and want to give you a staff job. Oh, good Lord, Dick. You'll be a blighted brass hat stuck in an office in Whitehall.
Now I have to report to him in London in double quick time. Corporal! Damn. Just when things were starting to get interesting here.
If you come back, bring some marmalade from Faulknam's, there's a good fellow.
London in November. Is there anything more depressing? I envy you men at the front, Major Hannay. Escaping the English weather.
I would not have recognized Sir Walter. His big frame seemed to have shrunk. His hair was much greyer, and there were lines of overwork below the eyes. But the eyes were the same as before, keen and deadly and shrewd, and there was no change in the firm set of the jaw.
Well, Major Hannay, how do you like soldiering?
Right enough, though this isn't just the kind of war I would have picked myself. It's a comfortless, bloody business. But we've got the measure of the old Boche now, and it's dogged as does it.
How's the leg? Doctors get all the shrapnel out?
Oh, yes. I'm as tough as a sjambok. I was back at the front within the month. I thrive on the racket and eat and sleep like a schoolboy. But I wish to heaven it was over.
No one could question your courage. What exercises my mind is whether it's best employed in the trenches.
What? Is the War Office dissatisfied with me?
Oh, on the contrary, they propose to give you command of your battalion. Presently, if you escape a stray bullet, you will no doubt be a brigadier. It's a wonderful war for youth and brains. Now, Hannay, how if you could help your country better than by commanding a battalion? How if there is a thing you alone can do? You're fond of tackling difficulties. Well, I can give you a task which will try all your powers.
I'm a soldier, and under orders.
True, but what I'm about to propose does not come by any conceivable stretch within the scope of a soldier's duties. I shall perfectly understand if you decline. You'll be acting as any sane man would.
Let me hear what your proposition is.
Have you by any chance been following the present campaign in Turkey?
Yeah, I've got some pals in the Mesopotamia show, and of course I'm keen to know what's going to happen to Gallipoli and Salonika.
I won't go into all the reasons why Turkey's left a rail. Suffice it to say, she has her grievances. You're an intelligent fellow, Hannay, and you will ask how Enver Bey and his precious committee should have got control of a proud race.
Well,
you'll inquire again how, since Turkey is primarily a religious power, Islam has played so small a part in it all. The ordinary man will answer that Islam in Turkey is becoming a back number, and that Krupp guns are the new gods. I do not quite believe that. Germany and Enver Bey alone could not drag Turkey into a European war.
Yes.
No, there's a dry wind blowing through the east, and the parched grasses wait the spark. Whence comes that wind, think you? Have you an explanation, Hannay?
But it looks as if Islam has a bigger hand in the thing than we thought. I fancy religion is the only way to knit up such a scattered empire.
Exactly. We have laughed at the Holy War, but I believe there is a jihad preparing. The question is, how?
I'm hanged if I know. But I'll bet it won't be done by a pack of stout German officers in pickle harbours.
Agreed. But supposing that they've got hold of some tremendous sacred sanction, some holy thing, or some new prophet from the desert, something which will madden the remotest Muslim peasant with dreams of paradise. What then, my friend?
Then there will be hell let loose in these parts pretty soon.
Hell which may spread. Beyond Persia lies India.
How much do you know?
Oh, very little, except the fact, but the fact is beyond dispute. I have reports from agents everywhere. They tell the same story. The East is waiting for a revelation. It has been promised. Some star is coming out of the West. The Germans know, and that is the card with which they're going to astonish the world.
And the task you spoke of for me is to go and find out?
Yes. That is the crazy and impossible mission.
But I never saw a Turk in my life. But except a chap who did wrestling turns in a show at Kimberley. You've picked about the most useless man on earth.
You've been a mining engineer, Hannay. You have a nose for finding gold, and I believe that you have a nose for finding out what our enemies try to hide. I know that you are brave and cool and resourceful. That is why I tell you the story.
And where should I begin prospecting?
I'm afraid I can't tell you where you'll get on the track of the secret. It's known in Germany to those whom it concerns. It's moving eastwards, but it's in Europe that the seeker must search at present.
Obviously you can give me no help if I come to grief.
You would be beyond the pale.
You give me a free hand?
Absolutely. You can follow whatever plan you fancy and go anywhere you think fruitful. We can give no directions.
One last question. You say it's important, Sir Walter. Tell me how important.
It is life and death. If the East blazes up, our efforts will be distracted from Europe. The stakes are no less than victory or defeat.
If you think me competent enough for a sporting chance, I'll go.
Give me a hand, Hannay. I may be sending you to your death. Good God. What a damn taskmistress duty is.
Sir Walter had an appointment at Downing Street. He gave instructions to his driver to drop him there, then take me to my rooms in Park Lane. We talked as the car drove through a regular London November drizzle.
The streets look like a battlefield nowadays. All those uniforms and badges, I've no idea what half of them are.
There's an officer in my battalion I'd like to have as a companion on this mission, Sir Walter. His name is Sandy Arbuthnot.
Billy Arbuthnot's boy? His father was at Harrow with me. I know the fellow. Tallish, with a lean, high-boned face and a pair of brown eyes like a pretty girl.
Yes, that's Sandy.
Yeah, we know a great deal about him in the Foreign Office. He used to take a hand in Turkish politics and got a huge reputation.
I knew Sandy had knocked about the East, but I didn't know he was that kind of swell.
You say he's in your battalion? Yes, I was wondering what had become of him. Well, the Honourable Ludovic Augustus Arbuthnot, buried deep in the ranks of the army. We'll get him out pretty quick.
I'll send him a wire this afternoon.
Now, Major Hannay, I've got another colleague for you, if you like. His name is Mr. John Scantlebury Blenkiron, born and raised in Indiana.
An American?
Blenkiron's the best man we ever had. He would go through hell with a box of bismuth tablets and a pack of patience cards. I'll tell him I think you two should meet. Ask him to dine at your club.
What am I to say to him? And Sandy?
Now, this piece of paper is the only clue we possess. Now, take it.
3 words.
3 words. Khazra-Din, Cancer, and VI.
What do they mean?
I cannot construe it, but I can tell you the story. We've had our agents working in Persia and Mesopotamia for years, mostly young officers of the Indian Army. They carry their lives in their hand, and now and then one of them disappears, and the sewers of Baghdad might tell a tale. 3 months ago, one staggered into General Delamain's camp with 10 bullet holes in him. He mumbled his name and gave them that paper. Since he cried out the word Khazra-Din in his last moments, it must have had something to do with his quest. It's for you to find out if it has any meaning.
I'll do my best, Sir Walter.
Here we are. Call for me at 4 p.m., driver. Goodbye, Major Hannay. And good luck.
Thank you. Sir Walter? That fellow who died, who was he?
His name was Harry Bullivant. He was my son. God rest his brave soul.
Blenkiron was a big fellow with a sallow, clean-shaven face and a pair of full, sleepy eyes. He was not too plump, and very muscular wrists showed below his shirt cuffs. I fancied that, if the occasion called, he might be a good man with his hands. I hope the fish is cooked as you instructed, Mr. Blenkiron.
Boiled to perfection, Major Hannay.
I'm sure you won't try a little of this claret.
No, thank you, Major Hannay. Potatoes, Mr. Blenkiron? No, thank you, Captain Arbuthnot. I regret that I cannot join you and Major Hannay in sampling that fine pie. Beef steak and oyster, you say? I suffer from dyspepsia. Duodenal dyspepsia. It gets me 2 hours after a meal and gives me hell just below the breastbone. So I am obliged to adopt a diet. My nourishment is plain boiled fish, gentlemen. And milk and a little dry toast.
Well, that's jolly hard luck, sir.
The good God has not given John S. Blenkiron the kind of martial figure that would do credit to the tented field. And I regret that I've never seen the lawless passions of men let loose on a battlefield.
What have you been doing, sir?
Well, Captain, the Lord has blessed me with money to burn, so I didn't need to go scrambling like a wildcat for war contracts. But as we Americans are neutrals, I was in an advantageous position to take a hand. I reckon I would leave God's country and see what was doing in Europe. I reckon that a neutral can have a share in the scrap as well as a belligerent.
Have you spoken to Sir Walter?
I have spoken to him, and he has given me to understand there's a deal ahead which you are going to boss. They are no flies on that big man. If he says it's good business, then you can count me in.
What about you, Sandy?
Well, for heaven's sake, Dick, tell me what it is.
It's about as safe and easy as going through the German lines with a walking stick.
Come, that's not so dusty. Shall I finish the last of the pie? Bit of a shame to waste you.
Sandy, Mr. Blenkiron, is the wandering Scot carried to the pitch of genius.
Oh!
If fate compelled you to go to Lhasa or Yarkand or Seistan, he could map out your road for you and pass the word to potent friends. In the old days, he would have led a crusade or discovered a new road to the Indies. Now he merely roams as the spirit moves him.
Dick, old man, I'm dreamt of pies like that in the trenches. Can I tempt you to another glass of milk, Mr. Blenkiron?
On the whole, I'd rather hear what Major Hannay has to tell us.
Yes, Dick. What's the story?
We'll have coffee in the library. No one will disturb us there. Over coffee and cigars, I told them about the puzzle in the Near East. I pitched a pretty good yarn, for the mystery of the business had caught my fancy. Blenkiron took a pack of patience cards from his pocket and began to play the game called Double Napoleon. Sandy's face had grown solemn.
The whole thing's possible enough. Indeed, I've been expecting it, though I'm hanged if I can imagine what the Germans have got up their sleeve. It might be one of 20 things. You never know what'll start off a jihad, but I rather think it's a man. He would have to be something extra special to put a spell on the whole Muslim world.
Do you think that's possible?
Perfectly. He must be of the blood of the Quraysh, the tribe of the Prophet himself. Then he'd have to be rather a wonder on his own account. Saintly, eloquent, that sort of thing. And I expect he'd have to show a sign, though what that could be, I haven't a notion.
Well, that's the ground clear to begin with. But we have no clues, except these 3 words on a piece of paper. They mean nothing to me, but they must be intelligible to somebody, or Harry Bullivant wouldn't have written them down.
I saw his name in the casualty lists. Fire away, Dick. Harry didn't do things without a purpose.
Well, the first word is Khazra-Din.
Khazra-Din? Khazra-Din is nothing. It means in Arabic, the house of faith, and might cover anything from Hagia Sophia to a suburban villa. What's next?
Cancer.
Latin for a crab, painful disease, and a sign of the zodiac.
And the last one isn't a word, it's the letters V and I.
Let's see. V-I. Well, beats me, Dick, but it may be the clue for all that. The clue may be dumb in London and shout aloud in Baghdad.
Sir Walter says this thing is important for our cause. He offers me the job of going out to find what the mischief is. Once he knows that, he can soon checkmate it. But it's got to be found out soon. Will you help me? If we fail, nobody can help us.
Oh, of course. Naturally.
The whole thing is stark lunacy.
It's idiocy. But all war is idiocy, and the most wholehearted idiot is apt to win. I'm with you, old fellow. But I don't mind admitting that I'm in a blue funk.
Then I take it you're coming.
Rather. You don't imagine I'd want to miss it?
And you, Mr. Blenkiron?
Oh, why, yes. You gentlemen mustn't think that I haven't been following your most engrossing conversation. I haven't missed a syllable. I find that a game of patience stimulates the digestion after meals and conduces to quiet reflection. John S. Blenkiron is with you all the time.
Well, that's settled. Now for ways and means. We 3 have got to go where Germany's secret is known. Somehow or other, we have to reach Constantinople. And to beat the biggest area of country, we must go by different roads. Sandy, you've got to get into Turkey. You're the only one of us that knows that engaging people.
Leave that to me.
You, Mr. Blenkiron, are an American and can travel through Germany direct. Problem is, you're known as a supporter of the Allied cause.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have considered that, sir. I shall visit the fatherland as John S. Blenkiron, once a thorn in the flesh of their brightest boys in the States. But it will be a different John S. I reckon he will have come to appreciate the great, pure, noble soul of Germany, and will be sorrowing for his past like a converted gunslinger at a revivers meeting.
Will that be enough?
I will confide to them valuable secret information about British preparations. Then I shall move eastwards to see the demolition of the British Empire in those parts.
You haven't told us your own line, Dick.
Oh, I'm going to the Bosphorus through Germany.
Is your German good enough?
Pretty fair. Quite good enough to pass as a native. But officially, I shall not understand one word. I shall be a Boer from Western Cape Colony. I shall talk Dutch and nothing else, and my hat, I shall be pretty bitter about the British. With luck, they may send me to Uganda or to Egypt, and I shall take care to go by Constantinople. If they want me to deal with Mohammedan natives, they're bound to show me what hand they hold.
Where is the rendezvous to be?
Well, this is the 17th day of November. If we can't find out what we want in 2 months, we may chuck the job. So on the 17th of January, we should foregather in Constantinople. Sandy, you know the city. You fix the meeting place.
Yes, I've thought of that. There's a lane runs down from the Kurdish bazaar in Galata to the ferry in Racek. Halfway down on the left-hand side is a cafe kept by a Greek called Kaprasso. Behind the cafe is a walled garden, at the end of which is a shanty called the Garden House of Suleiman the Red. The ends of the earth converge there, and no questions are asked. That's the best spot I could think of for our meeting place.
Well, gentlemen, here's to our next meeting. At the Garden House of Suleiman the Red.
Suleiman the Red.
I sailed on December the 3rd from Liverpool on a ship bound for Lisbon. My passport said my name was Cornelis Brandt, and passports never lie. Lisbon would be a good jumping-off place. It was the rendezvous of scallywags from most parts of Africa. I took a room at the station hotel and set out to look for a likely place to begin my new life as a fire-eating young boor, itching to get a shot at England. The place I chose to introduce Cornelis Brandt to Lisbon was a big, well-lighted cafe on a main street. There were a lot of sharp-eyed fellows wandering about that I guessed were spies and police agents. I looked around for an empty table, and that was when I saw Peter Pienaar. And he saw me.
I don't believe it! Over here!
Peter! What are you doing here? You old desperado!
Cornelis Brandt is my name now, and don't forget it.
Yeah, Cornelis. It's good to see you.
Peter Pienaar was the man that taught me all I ever knew of Feldcraft. When the Boer War started, Peter took the British side and did most of our intelligence work in the northern Transvaal. His people would have hanged him if they could have caught him. At the time when I left Africa 2 years before, I heard that he was somewhere on the Congo poaching elephants. It looked as if he had been living hard lately. He was 56 years old and used to be taken for 40. Now, he looked his age.
Try some of this, Cornelis. It's called Curaçao.
So, what have you been up to, Peter?
When the war began, I was in German territory. The skellum of an officer came along and commandeered all my mules. He wanted to commandeer me for his full army. So, I shot him.
Good Lord.
It was all right. He fired first on me. And that was the beginning of bad trouble. By and by, I thought I'd better clear out for Europe. So here I am, Cornelis, my old friend. If I shave my beard, will they let me join the Flying Corps?
No, you're coming with me, my lad. We're going into Germany.
Yeah, well, keep in mind that I don't like Germans. I'm a quiet Christian man, but I've the devil of a temper.
I told Peter the story of our mission, and we spent the evening piling up evidence in our favour. Curaçao was a new drink to him, and presently his tongue ran freely. He was shouting that the time was coming when the Englander would sing small, when a little scrap of a man in a fur coat approached our table with a waiter in tow.
Will the gentleman drink a glass of beer with me?
Who the devil are you?
Gott, strafe England.
Amen, my friend. We don't mind if we do.
Waiter, beer for my friends. It is good beer from München. Prost. You are from South Africa. What do you do in Europe?
That's our business.
So. Then I will put it differently. From your speech just now, I judge you do not love the English.
Neither grandmother's rotten hell. Prost.
So, you are on the German side.
That remains to be seen. If they treat us fair, we'll fight for anybody that makes war in England. England has stolen our country, corrupted our people, and made us exiles. We Afrikaners do not forget. Prost. We two men can be valuable to Germany. She's fighting England in East Africa. We know the natives.
Cornelis and I can handle the blacks, so they will fight like devils for fear of us.
We ask no reward for our services, little man. We fight for hatred of England.
Sehr good. There is room in Germany for men such as you. Listen, a ship leaves tomorrow for Rotterdam. If you take my advice, you will go with her. From there, you can travel by train to Berlin. I will arrange your journey and the papers to enter Germany. It is my business to help the allies of my fatherland.
The little chap turned up at our hotel next morning after breakfast, bringing the steamer tickets. On my advice, he did not see us off. But Peter took £20 off him for travelling expenses.
I am glad we are going among the Germans, Cornelis. They are a generous people, whom it is a pleasure to meet.
The Germans were generous. No fewer than 6 sentries escorted us from the train when it reached the German border. Peter and I were an odd pair of scallywags to look at. Both of us wore ready-made tweed suits and felt hats with broader brims than they like in Europe. Peter had a scarlet satin tie you could hear a mile off. We fairly reeked of the subcontinent. On our arrival in Berlin, we were taken to a big building to meet some government official.
The Undersecretary will see you now, gentlemen.
"3 p.m. exactly. Punctuality is one of our German virtues."
Herr Brandt and Herr Pienaar, Excellency.
"Thank you, Lieutenant. Wait outside."
The Undersecretary was a little man in spectacles, with his hair brushed back from his brow like a popular violinist. He had a paper before him and began to ask us questions from it. His Dutch was slow and careful, but good.
"I understand neither of you speak German."
No.
No, boss.
There was another man in the room. He stood with his back to the fire, leaning his elbows on the mantelpiece. He was a perfect mountain of a chap, 6.5 feet if he was an inch, with shoulders on him like a shorthorn bull.
"You both fought the English under General Meritz, Herr Pienaar."
Yeah, that's right.
The fellow was in uniform, and the black and white ribbon of the Iron Cross showed at a buttonhole. His tunic was all wrinkled and strained, as if it could scarcely contain his huge chest.
"Where did you fight?"
Kakamas. And shoot drift.
He had a great, lazy, smiling face, with a square cleft chin which stuck out beyond the rest. His brow retreated, and the stubbly back of his head ran forward to meet it, while his neck below bulged out over his collar.
"Before the war, what was your occupation, Herr Pienaar?"
Yeah, that's my name.
"And your occupation?"
Peter.
No. What did you do before the war?"
"I'll talk to their Excellency. You are too academic for this outland Schwein."
Here was the German of caricature. The real German. The fellows we were up against. He was as hideous as a hippopotamus, but effective. Every bristle on his odd head was effective.
"You have heard of me. I am the Colonel von Stumm who fought the Heraus."
Yeah, boss. You cut off the Chief Bavion's head and sent it in pickle about the country.
I see I am not forgotten. So I treat my enemies, and so will Germany treat hers. You too, if you fail me by a fraction of an inch. You Boers had the chance to drive the English into the sea, and you flung it away. Dumb cops.
"Colonel von Stumm, please! The carpet is government property."
My apologies, Excellency, but that is what I think of Sir General Maritz and all those Dutch. You, Pienaar, what do you come here for? What can you offer us Germans? South Africa is counted out in this war. Can you deny that?
No, boss. That is true.
Then what, in God's name, can you do? You see, Excellency, a pair of dumb dogs.
Let me speak.
Ah, the other dog can bark.
My friend is a great hunter, but he fights better than he talks. He is no politician. What you say is true. South Africa is a closed door for the present, and the key to it is elsewhere. Here in Europe, and in the East, and in other parts of Africa. We have come to help you find that key.
Go on, my little boy. It will be a new thing to hear a talk on world politics.
You're fighting the English in East Africa, and soon you may fight in Egypt. You want to beat the English here in Europe. Therefore, you try to divide them and have them scattered throughout the globe while you stick at home. That is your plan?
You have a brain, Brandt. Of sorts.
England fears for Egypt, and she fears too for India. She will not let East Africa go. If you press her there, she will send armies and more armies till she is so weak in Europe that a child can crush her. So I say, press there. And press hard.
How the devil are we to press? The accursed English hold the sea. We cannot ship men or guns there.
You need men, and the men are waiting. All round your borders you have the remains of the great fighting tribes, the Maasai, the Manyumwezi, and above all, the Somalis of the north and the dwellers on the Upper Nile.
We already recruit our black regiment, sir.
Now that is not enough. You must set whole nations moving, as the Zulu under Shaka flowed over South Africa.
It cannot be done, Herr Brandt.
It can be done, Excellency. We too are here to do it. We Afrikaners see into the black man's heart. And though he may hate us, he does our bidding. We must get his gods on our side, and then he will move mountains.
That's all foolishness.
It is sober common sense. You must find the race that fears its priests. It is waiting for you. The Mussulmans of Somaliland and the Abyssinian border and the Blue and White Nile. They would catch fire like dried grass if you used the flint and steel of their religion. That is the way of Africa. Thousands in Nimadi's army had never heard of the Prophet till they saw the black flags of the emirs going into battle.
Excellency, this is the man for Hilda.
If I care, Colonel.
Well, Brandt, you are a dreamer. But who is going to kindle the flame?
You.
What the devil do you mean?
That is your part. You already have half the Mussulman lands in your power. It is for you to show us how to kindle a holy war, for clearly you have the secret of it.
We have no secret.
What secret could we have?
I do not believe you. You're playing games with me. I've not come 6,000 miles to be made a fool of.
Disciplined by God! This army is none of your ragged commandos!
Oh, goodness!
You shut your mouth or you will get the same. Now get out, both of you. And remember that I am your master. I, Ulrich von Stumm, who owns you as a Käfer owns his monkey. Germany may have some use for you, my friend, when you fear me as you never feared your God.
As I walked dizzily away, the big man was smiling in his horrible fashion, and the little undersecretary was grinning too. It was the first time I had been bullied without hitting back. But I thanked heaven I had shown no temper, or that I understood German, for I remembered my mission. Luck seemed to have brought me into useful company. The next day, Peter and I separated. He was left behind in Berlin, and I was taken to the station. I was pleased when I heard I was going somewhere with Stumm. If he wanted to see me again, he must think me of some use, and if he was going to use me, he was bound to let me into his game. The train sped southward, mostly through hills and woods. In the carriage with us was a thin, middle-aged man, with the stoop in the shoulder that one gets from being constantly on horseback.
Brandt, this is Herr Gaudian. He's the greatest engineer in the world. He built the Baghdad and Syrian railways.
Is this the Dutchman, Herr Colonel? Colonel is Brandt, yes. I've told you of his plan. Too late. It should have been done at the beginning. We neglected Africa, you know the reason why. The von Einem, perhaps. But her charm is working well enough.
We had better talk of this another time, Herr Colonel.
Ignore the poor. He does not understand German.
You understand my Dutch, Herr Brandt?
Yeah.
Good. Now, tell me, how would you make trouble for the British?
Up in the north, among the Mussulman peoples. But there you must help me. I know nothing about Islam. I gather you do.
Why?
Because of what you have done already.
Greenmantle.
Hush, Colonel. That name should not be spoken outside the inner circle.
I wondered if I'd got a clue. Stumm had talked of a von Ein woman, perhaps the same woman as the Hilda he had mentioned to the Under-Secretary. I wish I could have caught the word Stumm had whispered to Gaudian, but I'd only heard something that sounded like Unmantle, which wasn't any German word I knew. The winter evening closed in. I saw we had come out of the hills and were in a flat country. The train began to slow down.
Listen to me, Brandt. Herr Gaudian and I are inclined to make use of you. If you are a rogue, you will have little scope for roguery. If you succeed, we will not forget it. Now, you will come with me to my home and get your orders.
Schwandorf! Schwandorf!
Farewell, Gaudian! Brandt, carry the bags.
Goodbye, Herr Gaudian.
I hope we will meet again, Herr Brandt, when God has given us victory.
Yeah. Schwandorf was a small town surrounded by dark woods, where the snow lay deeper than in the north. We didn't have far to go. On a hill above the town stood a big black castle, the home of von Stumm. Inside, the place was very noble and very ancient. I had the uncomfortable feeling of being in a prison. The sight of Stumm's study took my breath away. It was so unexpected. Here was a place all luxury and colour and light. This was the room of a man who had a fashion for frippery, a perverted taste for soft, delicate things. I began to see the queer other side to my host, that evil side which gossip had spoken of as not unknown in the German army. The room seemed a horribly unwholesome place, and I was more than ever afraid of Stumm. I was relieved when an elderly servant came to show me to my own rooms. There I found, in front of a cheerful fire, a hip bath, already filled with hot water, and soft, clean towels. It was my first bath since I had left Lisbon.
Yeah, we will now settle your business, Herr Brandt. You will go to Egypt. This card will be your passport. Keep it safe. It is your badge as an accredited agent of the German crown.
Where do I go after Egypt?
That remains to be seen.
How do I get there?
You will travel by Holland and London.
London?
You have no cause to be afraid. I guarantee you will be asked no questions by the British. Your passports are in order and will be given to you at the frontier. We manage these things well in Germany.
Here was a pretty kettle of fish. I was already well on my way to the east. The Danube could not be many miles off, and that way ran the road to Constantinople. But I knew that they would not let me out of their sight till they saw me in Holland. I was like a rat in a trap.
Does your heart fail you, my little boy? You are afraid of the English? I will tell you one thing for your comfort. There's nothing in the world to be feared except me. Fail me, and you will find the world a cold place. Colder even than this.
Damn! That water's cold as ice!
It is good Bavarian water, fresh from the mountains. The drowned rat would like to bite, but the rat has found its master. Smile, or I will make pulp of you.
You infernal cat! I'm going to knock the stuffing out of you. Take that!
Oh, Gott in Himmel! I will kill you!
Yes, well, you need to be quicker than that, Stumm.
You stand still, you vermin.
Coward! Boots and brute force against a naked man.
I will crush you to a pulp.
Still too slow. Don't like it, do you? Somebody standing up to you. You're a bully. Kick me, would you? Now I'm angry. Black, Monty, and Kimberly caught me to fight. But he taught me to fight clean. Take that!
Stumm lay spread-eagled in the bath. He didn't get up. I dressed quickly and put on my ulster. I picked up the pass from where it had fallen on the floor and ran downstairs. My luck held. I found the front door unlocked. I opened it and walked out into the night. Now I would be hunted like an animal. I had put Stumm to sleep for a bit, but I couldn't flatter myself that he would long be quiet. And when he came to, he would come looking for me. As soon as I was out of sight of the castle, I turned off the road and into the forest. I spent a cold night in the woods, trying to shelter from the wind and snow in a hole underneath the roots of an oak tree. This morning, I had risked going into the village to buy some food. I knew the desperate business I was in for. I was alone in the heart of South Germany. I had a fever, and Stumm was behind me, looking for my blood. I would have to go on and on, till I dropped. What I wanted was a nice cup of tea.
Good God!
Good God! Who are you?
I'm a mother. I've been gathering holly to decorate the cottage for the children.
Grüß Gott, Mutter.
Can I help you?
I am lost. Yesterday, I got caught up in a snowstorm.
It was very bad.
And now, I have a fever.
Oh dear.
It will pass in a day or two. If you could give me shelter.
You are welcome, mein Herr. Our cottage is nearby.
Thank you. You're most kind.
'Tis no weather for a sick man. I don't expect to meet anyone. Most people are at home on Christmas Eve.
I'm a member of the Imperial Secret Service. Here's my warrant.
Yes.
If you will permit it, I will stay till I am better, but no one must know I am here. If anyone comes, you must say nothing about me.
Yes. Yes, you can have the bed and the garret and be left in peace till you're well. We have no neighbours near, and the storm will have closed the roads. I will be silent, I and the children.
There's food in my rucksack.
Oh.
Biscuits, ham and chocolate. Please, take it. And, here is some money to buy Christmas gifts for your children.
God bless you. The good Lord has sent you. And the children will have their prayers answered, and the Christ child will not pass our door tonight. Come. This way.
Thank you.
It was a bad bout of fever. I lay 4 days like a log in that garret bed. On the 5th day, Wednesday the 29th of December, the fever left me, and I was well enough to get up. I dressed, went downstairs, and sat on the bench by the front door of the cottage. There, in the winter sunshine, watching the children play among the trees, I saw the crazy folly of war. What good would it do Christian folk to burn poor little huts like this and leave children's bodies by the wayside? To be able to laugh and to be merciful are the only things that make men better than the beasts.
Not so much noise, children. Remember our guest has been ill.
To that woman, the struggle meant nothing. It was an act of God that had taken her husband away to fight, and might soon leave her a widow and the children fatherless.
You're looking much better today.
Thank you. I feel better.
What are you reading? A letter from your wife? Your mother?
No, it's only a puzzle, to pass the time.
Ooh, you let me see. I like puzzles. Kaz Rad N Kants V1.
No, not one. I.
Oh, I thought it was a number. Oh, so it's too difficult for me. I shall make you another herbal infusion. It's good for you.
Thank you. Of the two letters, I had thought the V must stand for von, and had always taken the I as the letter of the alphabet. Now, this simple woman had shown it might be the number 1, Einem in German. I almost fell off the bench. Von Einem, the name I had heard Stumm mention, the name to which Hilda was probably the prefix. It was the first real bit of light I had found. And that word Stumm had whispered to Gaudian, Greenmantle. If only I could get that clear, I would solve the riddle. The discovery filled me with strength and hope. I left that day. The woman told me that the Danube was only an hour's walk away. The track ran through the woods straight to the ferry. I gave my hostess and the children 2 gold sovereigns apiece. I kissed the little ones, shook the woman's hand, and went off down the road. They cried, "Auf Wiedersehen!" But it wasn't likely I would ever see them again. I stood in the rain beside the Danube. It was Thursday, the 30th of December. I was due in Constantinople on the 17th of January. It seemed as distant as the moon, but the big sullen river in front of me led to it. As I looked, I saw a river steamer with a line of barges in tow moving toward the shore. It moored opposite me, and I could see a man in uniform whom I took to be the captain. I waved at him and hallooed.
Captain! Where are you bound?
To Rostock! Then the cargo goes on to Constantinople by rail.
Do you need an extra hand?
Not unless heaven has sent me an engineer.
Well, I am no angel, but I am an engineer.
Then, God be thanked. I'll send the boat over for you. You don't drink, do you?
No.
Good. Walter drank. That's why I need a new engineer.
I thanked Walter from the bottom of my heart and wished him a long and happy life, wherever he was.
You there! I'm Herr Brandt, the new engineer. Take care to do your work well, and you'll find me a reasonable master.
Cornelis?
Peter? I hope that's holy.
It's good to see you, Cornelis. I thought you'd be traveling in first-class carriages.
The gods must be on our side, Peter. First I turn up just when the captain is in need of an engineer.
The old one got drunk and broke his leg.
Then I find Peter Pienaar working as a stoker. How in the name of all that's holy did you get here?
It was very simple, Cornelis. I was unhappy in Berlin when you'd left. I did and said some foolish things in a cafe. I told you I didn't like Germans. I knew they'd put me in prison, so I started walking southeast in the direction of Constantinople. Then I found this big river.
You're an old Trojan, Peter.
I met Captain Schenk in an inn and told him I was a poor Dutchman travelling on foot to see my dying mother. He's a kind man and allows me to work my passage. Tell me, Cornelis, where are we?
This river steamer is pulling the Essen barges. It's how the Germans munition their Balkan campaign. Strings of barges load up at the big factories in Westphalia and move through the canals from the Rhine or the Elbe to the Danube.
This is the Danube?
Yes. Once the barges reach Turkey, we'll disappear and make our way to Constantinople.
Whatever you say, Cornelis.
Let's go up on deck for a breath of air. Junge!
Ja?
Bring me meinen Mantel.
Der Greenmantle?
Ja, der Greenmantle. Good Lord. Peter! Greenmantle! I heard Stumm say Unmantel and could make nothing of it. Now I'm sure it was Greenmantle.
Your green coat, Cornelis?
Well, whatever it might be, Greenmantle is some talisman for the business in the East, and connected in some way with the mysterious von Ein. Peter, my old friend, our quest might not be so hopeless after all. I don't quite know what I'd expected Constantinople to look like. An eastern city, all white marble, blue water, and roses and nightingales. I had forgotten that winter is pretty much the same everywhere. And today was the 17th of January. The Kurdish bazaar was a filthy place. The lanes were long troughs of mud, and the icy wind stirred the garbage. It was almost pitch dark.
Cornelis, do you know that we are being followed? Ever since we came to this evil-smelling place.
Just keep your gun handy, Peter.
We are being followed close, Cornelis.
Where is this damned coffee house? I can see no lights, nothing.
Here they come, Cornelis!
We've got it in the neck this time.
Over here, a door!
Hey, compressor! That's it! Inside, quick!
Good evening, gentlemen. You honor my coffee house with your presence. I am Angelo Cuprasso. How may I be of service?
We wish to visit the garden house of Suleiman the Red.
Ah, you have heard there is to be a performance by La Compagnie des Roses.
Was that Cornelis?
The Companions of the Rosy Hours.
Please, follow me. The entrance to the garden is at the back.
Lead on, Mr. Cuprasso. We're all for the Rosy Hours.
You are fortunate, gentlemen. The garden house is sometimes open, sometimes not. Last week we had the ballet of Mamselle Chichi. For the German officers, you understand. But tonight there will be wonderful dancing. Behold, the garden house of Suleiman the Red. I shall have coffee sent to your table. Enjoy the evening, gentlemen.
That girl dancing, Cornelis. Is she Mademoiselle Chichi?
Some mamselle or other.
The lights are going out.
La Compagnie des Roses.
Into a circle of light stepped an eldritch apparition. A tall man dressed in skins, with bare legs and sandal-shod feet. A wisp of scarlet cloth clung to his shoulders, and drawn over his head, down close to his eyes, was a skull cap made of a fox pelt with the tail waving behind it. His eyes were glassy, like a man who smokes hemp. Behind him came 6 others, also in skins, but with bare heads and long, tangled hair. Suddenly, the leader flung some stuff into a brazier, and a great fan of blue light went up. I became aware that a queer scent had stolen into the atmosphere. Passion. Terrible, savage passion was beating in the air. The dancers became monstrous, inhuman, devilish. The companions of the Rosy Hours were the only thing in the world to fear. I felt the burning eyes of their leader looking for me in the gloom.
These devils are smelling us out, Cornelis. Like Kafir witch doctors.
Turkish police, Peter!
They're looking for us, Cornelis.
Stumm has tracked us down. This is the end, old friend.
But we will put up a good fight.
The companions of the Rosy Hours abandoned their dance and began to press around Peter and me, forcing us towards the stage. Their leader urged them on with high-pitched cries. We were trapped by these devils. I made an attempt to break free, and the leader of these dancing maniacs, his eyes blazing, grasped my arm in a vice-like grip. He brought his face close to mine. Under the skull cap, he grinned horribly.
Dick, I'm most awfully glad to see you again.
Sandy? Is that you? You look like a dervish witch doctor.
I am a dervish witch doctor. We should leave now, old chap. In fact, we should run for our lives.
In Greenmantle by John Buchan, dramatised by Patricia Hannay, Richard Hannay was played by David Robb, Sandy Arbuthnot by James Fleet, Sir Walter Bullivant, Clive Merrison, John S. Blenkiron, Stuart Milligan, Peter Pinar, John Glover, Ulrich von Stumm, Jack Claff, German agent, David Timson, German mother, Rachel Atkins, Herr Gaudian, Harry Myers, Undersecretary, Matthew Pidgeon. Other parts were played by the cast. The director was Bruce Young.
You're listening to the Mystical Magpie channel. Please subscribe.
This way, Dick, hurry!
Sandy, you devil! You gave me and Peter the fright of our lives!
I thought he was a Kaffir witch doctor come to get me!
Peter's right, he looks like something from a nightmare. What are you doing, bossing a band of dervishes?
That was the only way! If we hadn't got you out of that place, your goose would have been jolly well cooked. Now, Dick, old man, run on your life!
Greenmantle by John Buchan, dramatised by Patricia Hannay. Part 2, January 1916.
It was 2 months ago that I had been summoned from soldiering in France by Sir Walter Bullivant. The Foreign Office had got wind of some secret plot by the Germans to start a holy war against us in the East. Sandy Arbuthnot, Mr. John S. Blenkiron, Peter Pinar and I were determined to discover the German secret and prevent it succeeding. But our only clue was 3 words scrawled by a dying man on a piece of paper. Khazra-Din, Cancer, and V.I. We had made our separate ways to Constantinople. Mr. Blenkiron as a sympathizer of the German cause, I as Cornelis Brandt, a Boer seeking revenge on the English, and Sandy as the leader of a band of Turkish gypsies, the companions of the Rosy Hours. In that disguise, he had this very night saved Peter and me from being arrested by the Turkish police.
You two have given me and Mr. Blenkiron a pretty anxious time.
You're safe enough here, Major, but you've cut it mighty fine.
What place is this?
You may call it my humble home. We've been preparing it for you, Major Hannay, but it was only yesterday I heard of your friend.
Ah, yes. Allow me to introduce Peter Pinar, master of feldcraft, hunter of elephants, and Germans. Peter, this is Mr. John S. Blenkiron and the Honourable Sandy Arbuthnot.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Pinar.
Always happy to welcome another hunter into camp.
Thank you, Bass.
Now, Major, officially, a Dutchman called Cornelis Brandt was to be arrested tonight and handed over to the German authorities. But Germany will find difficulty in getting the body. Such are the languid ways of Oriental despotism.
I looked at Blenkiron, lying on the sofa, shuffling his patience cards with his old, sleepy smile. And Sandy, dressed like some bandit in melodrama, his lean face as brown as a nut, his bare arms all tattooed with crimson rings, and the skull cap made of a fox pelt, drawn tight over brow and ears. It was still a nightmare world, but the dream was getting pleasanter.
You boys are ready. I want to know how our mutual inquiries have prospered.
Well, you first, Mr. Blenkiron.
Well, I have to confess to you, gentlemen, I have failed.
Well, you did your best.
Oh, Germany has some trick in hand, but I'm darned if I can put a name to it. What about you, Captain Arbuthnot?
Well, when I left London, I went to Smyrna. I had friends there I could count on. I'm a blood brother to the chief of the Turkish gypsies. So before the day was out, I was a member of the Company of the Rosy Hours.
Uh-huh.
It stands for Islam and the Old Ways and is the last hope of the Orthodox. The companions can dance the heart out of the ordinary Turk. You saw a bit of one of our shows tonight, Dick. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah. If you like that sort of thing.
Oh.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got to Constantinople and contacted Mr. Blenkiron. The rest, you know. And now for business. I haven't got to the bottom of things, but I've solved the first of Harry Bullivant's riddles. I know the meaning of Khazra-Din.
Well done, Sandy.
There's a great stirring in Islam. They make no secret of it. These religious revivals come in cycles, and one was due about now. The details are quite clear. A seer has arisen of the blood of the Prophet and will restore the Caliphate to its old glories and Islam to its old purity. Mm-hmm. The Orthodox believe that they are on the eve of a great deliverance.
How does Germany come into this?
Well, how? I don't know, but I could see quite plainly that Germany has some hand in the coming of the new deliverer. The ordinary Turk loathes Enver and the committee, but he has some queer, perverted expectation from Germany. They talk about it, I think, quite openly. It's called the Kabahe Hurriye, the Palladium of Liberty. The Prophet is known as Zimrud, the Emerald. But no one knows where Zimrud is or when he will reveal himself. All that I could learn was that he and his 4 ministers are coming from the west.
And Khazra-Din, what about that?
There's a very famous Turkish romance called Khazra-Din, the Home of the Spirit. It's one of those old allegorical, half-comic miracle plays which takes a week to read. This tale tells of the coming of a prophet, and I found that some spoke of the new revelation in terms of it. The curious thing is that in the tale, the prophet is aided by one of the few women who play much part in the hagiography of Islam. The prophet, too, is not called Emerald.
I know. He's called Greenmantle.
How on earth did you find that out?
From a Colonel von Stumm. He's in on the secret and mentioned the name Greenmantle. The last I saw of him, he was relaxing in a bath of cold water with, I hope, a sore jaw.
Well, very sore if I know you, Dick. Yes, Germany is certainly at the heart of the plan.
They can't delay too long before they deliver the goods. If we can stick it out here, we must hit their trail. By the way, I've got another piece of evidence. I've solved Harry Bullivant's 3rd puzzle.
V.I.? Well, that was the most baffling of the lot.
Because we assumed it was a letter of the alphabet. It isn't. It's a numeral.
Of course.
Yes. You said that in the tale of Khazra-Din, a woman is the ally of the Prophet. Same thing is true of Greenmantle. I can give you her name. It's von Einem. Hilda von Ein.
Well, if we find her, we'll have done the trick. Where is she, this Hilda von Ein?
I reckon I can put you wise on that, gentlemen. I saw her no later than yesterday.
What? You know her?
Yes. She is a lovely lady. She also happens to be the owner of this house.
Good Lord!
How on earth did you meet her, Mr. Blenkiron?
Well, friends in high places.
We go all the way across Europe.
No, we end up in the home of the riddle.
No, it's not a matter for laughter. I would rather you had mentioned any other name on God's earth. Various political bosses in the city haven't much to them, but I have met the Frau von Einem, and that lady's a very different proposition.
But who is she?
That is just what I can't tell you. She was a great excavator of Babylonish and Hittite ruins, and she married a diplomat who went to glory 3 years back. It isn't what she's been, but what she is, and that's a very clever woman.
And she lives here, you say?
No. She owns this house. She doesn't live here.
Well, then where does she...
That I don't know.
Oh, I can find out.
Well, you won't find people unduly anxious to gratify your curiosity about Frau von Ein.
Oh, there are ways. Now, I've got to clear, for my day's work isn't over. Dick, your past is blotted out, and you begin tomorrow morning with a new sheet.
Right.
Blenkiron's the man to thank for that.
Yes.
He was certain you'd get here, but he was also certain you'd arrive in a hurry with a good many inquiries behind you. So he arranged that you should disappear and start afresh.
Your name is Richard Hannay, born in Cleveland, Ohio, of German parents on both sides. One of our brightest mining engineers and the apple of Guggenheim's eye. You arrived this afternoon from Constantinople. The clothes for the part are in your bedroom next door. And I'll rustle up something for Mr. Pienaar.
No, I'm no actor, Dick. Cannot be different from what I am.
You can play my servant, Peter.
Oh, good, good.
Now, you and Mr. Pienaar must give me your clothes, the ones you've got on now.
My clothes, Bess?
You have a strange taste in souvenirs, Sandy.
They're for the Turkish police. The current in the Bosphorus is pretty strong, and these sad relics of two misguided Dutchmen will wash up tomorrow about Seraglio Point. In this game, you must drop the curtain, neat and pat, at the end of each scene if you don't want trouble from the missing heir and the family lawyer.
I walked out of that house next morning, with Blenkiron's arm in mine, a different being from the friendless creature of the night before. I was splendidly dressed in a navy blue suit with square padded shoulders, a neat black bow tie, and a brown bowler. Over that I wore a greatcoat lined with wolf fur. I pride myself that I made a very fair shape at the lingo of the Middle West. We visited the market, as tourists would do, then sat in a small garden overlooking the Bosphorus.
Balan. Balan. Balan Effendi.
No, go away.
Balan Effendi.
Yeah, I guess I'll have one, friend.
Yeah. The blessings of Allah on you, Effendi. Balan. Balan.
What do you want with a balloon?
Oh, nothing, sir. I shall let it fly free once I have removed this mighty interesting piece of paper from the string.
Is that why we're here? Is your morning's work over?
I've reckoned you've tumbled to it. Thanks to my network of spies, I am the best informed man in Constantinople. Now, we can get down to work, Mr. Hannay. To get the confidences we need, we've got to be at the heart of the show. So, I settled I would be a big engineer. I talked to Enver Bey and the committee about the uses of water power, about what might be done in Mesopotamia in the way of washing the British downriver. They knew of my reputation as a hydraulic expert, and were tickled to death to rope me in.
And, my part in all this?
I told them I wanted a helper, and I told them about my friend Richard Hannay. So, you're going to be welcomed and taken to their bosoms just like John S. was. But we can't go back on our tracks. If we wanted to leave, they'd be very polite, but they'd never let us.
That's what I was afraid of.
We've got to go on with this adventure and nose our way down into Mesopotamia and hope our luck will hold.
But now that we have a rough idea of what the Germans are planning, wouldn't it be better to make a run for it?
No, I reckon not. We still know mighty little about Greenmantle. I reckon our landlady is the real boss of the show. I opine that the hapless prophet has no sort of time with that lady, and that he will soon wish himself in paradise. For if Almighty God ever created a female devil, it's Madame von Ein. That woman's mad and bad, but principally bad.
It looks as if our job were a long way from the end.
Oh, it's scarcely begun, Mr. Hannay.
Since that first night, I had never clapped eyes on Sandy. He had gone clean out of the world. Blenkiron and I were presently going to Mesopotamia, but unless we learned more about Greenmantle, our journey would be a failure. Our only hope was Sandy. We waited for news. Anxiety makes me restless, so Peter and I got horses and rode out through the suburbs into the open country.
We should have headed back long ago, Dick. It's too dark now to find the road.
Well, we'd better dismount and lead the horses. I haven't the foggiest notion where we are.
And what? Walk on. Ah, yeah, there is a house. Half left in front of us.
Well, for heaven's sake, guide me to it. There isn't a light or any sign that I can see.
Lead on. Go on, walk on.
How far away is this house?
That's the wall, Dick.
Hey, there's a gate here. No one's used this for some time.
I'm in the garden. Stay with the horses, Peter, while I investigate.
Yeah.
A bit late to be paying calls, and I don't want to walk in on some old fella's harem.
Sandy? Dick? Dick, what the devil are you doing here?
Peter and I were out riding and got lost. Sandy,
Good
what the...
God, man, you've never been in greater danger in your life.
Why?
Quick, to the bushes, the car's coming. Keep still. I might not see us. Damn! What? Now we're for it.
Fendi?
The woman who had spoken sat in the back of the limousine. She had a mantilla of black lace over her head and shoulders, and with one slender, jewelled hand, she kept its folds over the greater part of her face. I saw only a pair of grey-blue eyes and the slim fingers.
Sie is missing it, Sheikh Fendi.
Ik weet het never, Fendi.
Ja, dan is dat beris mi waar.
I have to ask pardon for trespassing in your garden, ma'am. Fact is, I and my servant went for a ride this afternoon and got good and well lost. We came in by your back gate, and I was prospecting for your front door to find someone to direct us. But when I bumped into this brigand chief who doesn't understand my talk.
Oh, no banabarakan sis. Birat ya benider.
I'm an American. I'm here on a big government proposition. I hate to trouble you, but if you'd send a man to show us how to strike the city, I'd be very much in your debt.
Will you come into the car? At the house, I shall give you a servant to direct you.
She drew in the skirts of her fur coat to make room for me. The soft cushions and the subtle scents filled me with acute uneasiness. Women had never come much my way, and I knew as much of their wiles as I knew about the Chinese language. Sandy closed the door. The chauffeur switched off the light. I had never been in a motor car with a lady before. I knew who she was. I was alone with Hilda von Ein.
I have heard of you. You are called Richard Hannay, the American. Why have you come to this land?
I'm an engineer. Thought I could help out with some business in Mesopotamia.
You are on Germany's side?
Why, yes. We Americans are supposed to be neutral, and that means we're free to choose any side we fancy, right? Well, I'm for the Kaiser.
You have chosen well.
She turned to face me. The black mantilla slipped onto her shoulders. Her cool eyes searched me, but not in suspicion. She was sizing me up as a man. I was horribly fascinated. This slim woman with her fair cloud of hair, her long, delicate face, and her pale, bright eyes had the glamour of a wild dream. I hated her instinctively, hated her intensely. But I longed to arouse her interest. To be valued coldly by those eyes was an offense to my manhood.
Richard Hannay, listen to me.
Suddenly, I realized that this woman was trying to cast some spell over me.
Richard Hannay, what come you forth to seek?
I was conscious for just an instant of some will battling to subject mine. It passed quickly, and for a second her eyes drooped. I seemed to read in them a kind of satisfaction, as if they had found more in me than they expected.
You are not like the fat American Blenkiron, a lover of shoddy power and a devotee of a feeble science. Now there is something more than that in your face. You have faced danger many times?
Yeah, I've faced danger.
You have fought with men in battles?
I have fought in battles.
You have courage. Richard Hannay, from the land of pious follies, I ask, what come you forth to seek?
I know nothing of the East, but it's from the desert that purification comes.
You are on our side, but you are not of the Germans with their hankering for a Rococo empire.
When mankind is smothered with shams and phrases and painted idols, a wind blows out of the wilds to cleanse and simplify life.
You are of the household of faith. You will presently learn many things, for the faith marches to victory. Soon you and your companion travel eastwards.
Yeah, we travel to Mesopotamia. We have our passports from Ember Bay.
And tomorrow you will receive new passports. I have need of you, and you will go with me. Not to the flats of the Tigris, but to the great hills. I shall send one of my people to fetch your horses and your servant. He will guide you to the city.
Thank you.
I have heard well of you, Richard Hannay. Tonight, I have seen you. We shall meet again. Farewell.
Another whiskey, Sandy.
Thanks, Dick. I need it.
I was mighty pleased to see you tonight. Where have you been all this time?
The companions of the Rosy Hours were summoned to perform at Frau von Ein's villa for her and the 4 ministers. Hilda von Ein has welcomed me as an ally.
Oh, it couldn't have worked out better.
Dick, this whole job is getting very difficult, very dark.
I know.
I found out the meaning of Harry Bullivant's second word.
Cancer.
Yes, it means just what it reads. Greenmantle is dying. He has been dying for months. This afternoon they brought in a German doctor to see him, and the man gives him a few hours of life. By now, he may be dead.
Well, then that busts the show. You can't have a crusade without a prophet.
Well, I wish I thought it did, but do you think that woman will be beaten by such a small thing as the death of a prophet? She'll find a substitute. One of the 4 ministers, or someone else. Oh, I tell you, Dick, she's a devil incarnate.
Yes, it's a strange business.
Thanks. Greenmantle is often in great pain, but he struggles to meet the demands of his protectress. I never saw such a man, Dick. He's the greatest gentleman you can picture. He's a dreamer and a poet, too. The West knows nothing of the true Oriental. It pictures him as lapped in colour and idleness and luxury. But it is all wrong. The bliss he yearns for is an austere thing. It is the austerity of the East, and that's its beauty and its terror. The Turk and the Arab come out of big spaces, and they have the desire of them in their bones. They settle down and stagnate, and by they degenerate into that appalling subtlety which is their ruling passion gone crooked. And then comes a new revelation, a great simplifying. They want to live face to face with God. They want to get back to the noble bareness of the desert. It is always the empty desert and the sky that cast a spell over them.
Sounds a bit inhuman to me.
It's the humanity of one part of the human race. It isn't ours, but it's jolly good all the same. There are times when it grips me so hard that I'm inclined to forswear the gods of my fathers.
Steady on, Sandy.
Sorry, Dick. Greenmantle is the prophet of this great simplicity. Hilda von Ein runs the prophet because she shares his belief. Only what in him is sane and fine, in her is mad and horrible. You see, Germany also wants to simplify life.
I know. I told her that in the car. And I talked more rot to the second than any mortal man ever achieved. It will come to haunt me for the rest of my days.
Dick, did you ever hear of a thing called the Superman?
Yes, there was a time when the papers were full of nothing else. I gather it was invented by a sportsman called Nietzsche.
It's a craze of the new fatted Germany. It's a fancy type that could never really exist. Mankind has a sense of humour which stops short of the final absurdity. There could never be a Superman, but there might be a Superwoman.
You'll get into trouble, my lad, if you talk like that.
It's true, all the same. Women don't see the joke of life like the ordinary man. There is a superwoman, and her name is Hilda von Ein.
Oh, Lord. I thought our job was nearly over. Now it looks as if we've only started. Sir Walter said that all we had to do was find out the truth.
He didn't know about that woman.
What can Blenkiron and I do?
I honestly don't know. But I'm very clear about my own duty. She's let me in on the business, and I'm going to stick to it in the hope that I'll find a chance of wrecking it. We're moving eastward tomorrow, with a new prophet if the old one is dead.
Yes, we're going with you. An hour ago, your lady sent our passports for the journey to the Great Hills.
What the deuce does she want with you?
What the? Oh, say, boys, I've got something pretty considerable in the way of news.
What?
There's been big fighting on the eastern border, and the Turks have taken a bad knock. It seems the Ruskies have descended from their mountains, and now they're sitting down outside the forts of Erzurum.
Oh, the Great Hills. Well, we're going to Erzurum, don't you see?
The Germans are playing their big card. They're sending the Greenmantle to the point of danger to rally the Turkish defence.
Huh?
Oh, we're going to be in it up to the neck, and heaven help the best man. I must be off now, for I have a lot to do. Au revoir. We'll meet soon, in the hills.
Good luck, Sandy!
Peter and Blenkiron clung on for dear life in the back of the old Studebaker I was driving along the icy, rutted road to Erzurum. Hussein, one of Sandy's band of ruffians who spoke a little English, was our guide.
We have crossed the Caravel there. The way will be easier now, Effendi.
The traffic on the road reminded me of that awful stretch between Cassel and Ypres. There were troops by the thousand, striding along with their impassive Turkish faces. One of the officers shouted to us as we passed.
You have beaten the French and the British. Now it is Russia's turn.
We shot out of drizzling rain into brief spells of winter sunshine, and then into a snow blizzard. And always before us, the long road unrolled, with somewhere at the end of it, two armies locked in a death struggle.
What's that big river, Major?
I believe it's the Euphrates, Mr. Blenkiron.
Then that's the waters of Babylon.
Yes.
Great snakes. Then I should have lived to see the fields where King Nebuchadnezzar grazed. What's the name of that big hill?
Ararat, as like as not.
Ararat? Oh, holy Moses!
Before night the next day, we reached Erzurum. I showed our passports, but the sentry didn't salute and let us move on as we had expected.
He says, Effendi, there is somebody important who badly wants to see you.
A German lieutenant came from the guardhouse. He jumped onto our running board and motioned that we should drive towards a large building with sentries outside.
You must see the section chief.
Very well.
By the waters of Babylon we sat down and wept. I fear, Major, we'll soon be remembering Zion.
Peter, where's Hussein?
He must have slipped away somehow.
The man you wanted to question, Colonel von Stumm.
Oh, Lord. The game's up this time.
So, my little Dutchman, we meet again. And you, Herr Blenkiron. I never liked the look of you. You babbled too much, like all your damned Americans.
Well, I guess your personal dislike hasn't anything to do with the matter. If you're the boss here, I'll thank you to cast your eye over these passports, for we can't stand waiting forever.
Doc, I'll teach you manners.
No. Keep your distance. I got you covered, and I'll make a hole in your bullet head if you lay a hand on me.
I'm going to have you disarmed, gentlemen. Either you give up your pistols to the lieutenant, or I will call the sentries and have you stripped and searched.
Better do as the man says, boys. It's too cold for anything else.
Sensible, Herr Blenkiron. We can conduct our conversation more pleasantly without pistols. Your game is up, Herr Brandt. These fools of Turkish police said the Dutchmen were dead, but I believe the good God had spared them for me, though I didn't think to find this plump old partridge. My God! By the time I have done with you, your mothers in their graves will weep that they ever bore you.
If you're going to play any ugly games on me, I'd like you to know that I'm an American citizen. and you'll sweat blood for it later. That's fair warning, Colonel Stumm.
There's no hurry. We shall have long and happy hours together. I am going to make you comfortable in the cellar. You will be safer there than in the town jail, for it is a trifle drafty. It lets things in, and it might let things out.
Well, Major, reckon it wants a good old-fashioned copper-bottomed miracle to get us out of this dungeon.
If only there were a window. That would be miracle enough for me.
Maybe no windows, Dick. We're underground.
But Sandy's somewhere outside with the companions.
I think we should try to get some sleep.
Yeah, Mr. Pinar's right, Major. We should all be prepared for what tomorrow might bring.
Von Stumm.
Madame von Ein. Tell me, Major, what do you think of her?
Well, Sandy and I are impressed. It's no good denying it. But we're too interested to be scared. Old Peter doesn't give a rush. Man, woman, or hippogriff, it's all the same to you, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm an easygoing man.
She makes me feel like a bird confronted by a rattlesnake.
Perhaps you're in love with her, Mr. Blenkiron.
No, sir. I haven't got no sort of affection for that lady. My trouble is, we Americans haven't got the right poise for dealing with that kind of female. We aren't used to regarding women as anything except angels and children. Consequently, when we find one playing the biggest kind of man's game, we can't place her. I wish I had you boys' upbringing.
Dick, there's someone at the door.
Oh.
Effendi. Hussein? Yes. You must follow me. You must be silent. Lead on, Macduff. Come. We travel across the rooftops.
Oh, lordy.
Hussein led us up to a little courtyard, above which the walls rose like cliffs. One was covered in a stout wooden trellis. It was child's play for Peter and me to climb it. But Blenkiron... Take his other arm, Peter. We'll haul him up.
Come on, boss. Oh, I'm mighty grateful to you boys.
We crawled along a broadish wall, and then up a sloping buttress onto the flat roof of the house. Hussein took us onto a ledge, past a stack of chimneys to another building, slightly lower. We dropped as softly as possible to the roof.
Oh! No noise! There is a light in the window over there.
The window had two folding sashes, which clasped in the middle. Through a gap in them I saw a lamplit room, and Stumm sitting at a table littered with papers. He turned to consult some document and made a marking on the map before him. Then he suddenly rose, stretched himself, and went out of the room. I guessed he had gone to have a look at his prisoners, in which case the show was up. But what filled my mind was an insane desire to get a sight of that map.
Hurry! The master is waiting for you.
I'm going to have a look inside. It won't take long, I'll catch you up.
We shall wait for you on the roof of the house by the mosque.
The flimsy clasp gave in at the first pull, and the sashes swung open. I scrambled in, crumpled up the map in my pocket, climbed back onto the roof, and started after the others. Come on, we've got to move fast. I've been burgling Stumm's private office. Got his map.
So that's what the hullabaloo's all about.
Where's Hussein?
Left us here and disappeared again. What?
Hussein, you should go into pantomime. First you vanish, then you pop up through a trapdoor.
My lords, you must now all pop down through the trapdoor.
Where are we, Hussein?
In the house of the master. But you must stay quiet in the attic. The Frankish lady is here. Come on.
Hussein brought us food, and as soon as the meal was over, we had stretched out on a pile of straw in the corner of the attic and fallen asleep.
Leave the lamp here, Hussein. Yes, master.
Lambs are caution. It's Captain Arbuthnot.
It was the sight of a new Sandy that made Blenkiron exclaim in astonishment. The pelts and foxskin cap had gone, and he wore instead a long linen tunic, clasped at the waist by a broad girdle. A strange green turban adorned his head, and as he pushed it back, I saw that his head had been shaved.
He doesn't look well, Dick.
Sandy, old man, have you been sick?
No, I'm not sick. My body's right enough. But for the last few days I've been living in hell.
Look at me, Sandy. Straight in the eyes. Great heavens, man, you've been drugged.
Drugged? Yes, I have been drugged, but not by any physic.
We'll look after you. Take your time, old man, and tell us all about it.
It does me good to hear your voice, Dick. It reminds me of clean, honest things.
Well, they'll come back, never fear. We're at the last lap now. You've got to tell me what the new snag is. Is it that woman?
Woman? She's a she-devil. It isn't madness that's wrong with her. She's as sane as you and as cool as Blenkiron. Her life is an infernal game of chess, and she plays with souls for pawns. She's evil. Evil.
Look up, old chap. This isn't like you. What's happened?
Greenmantle's dead.
What?
He died that night I saw you, Dick. We buried him secretly by her order in the garden of the villa. Then came the trouble about his successor. The 4 ministers would be no party to a swindle. They were as immovable as a granite hill, and she knew it. Then they too died.
Murdered?
Murdered. All 4 in one morning. I don't know how, but I helped to bury them, and it will haunt me to my dying day.
Then the prophet is gone, and the humbug is over.
No, the prophet still lives. She's found a successor. Why do I wear these clothes? Because I am Greenmantle.
You?
I am the Kabai Huriya for all Islam. In 3 days' time I will reveal myself to my people and wear on my breast the green ephod of the prophet. Only you see I won't. I will cut my throat first. There's no way. No way but death. We're done for, all of us. At best you have 3 days and then you too will be dead.
Sandy, what has she done to you?
Oh, she has made me her accomplice. I did all she asked and joined in her game. She was very candid, you know. She laughs at the faith of Islam, but she has her own dreams and they consume her. She has, it's horrible, but she has this kind of crazy liking for me. When we have reclaimed the East, I am to be by her side as she rides into Jerusalem. And there have been moments, only moments, I swear to God, when I have been fired myself by her madness.
I am blessed if I listen to this goddamn stuff. You got to get busy, Major, and pump some sense into your friend.
Sandy, you ass. Be thankful you have friends to keep you from playing the fool.
That's right.
I'm bossing the outfit now, and for all your confounded prophetic manners, you've got to take your orders from me. You aren't going to reveal yourself to your people. We're going to get clear away, and inside of a week we'll be having tea with the Grand Duke Nicholas.
How, Dick, how?
Because we've had an almighty piece of luck. I got into Stumm's rooms and bagged his map. Now look here. Do you see his notes? They haven't had time to fortify the peaks above Kara Gubek. If the Russians manage to get batteries there, the fort will fall.
Well, Stumm's right. The whole defence of Erzurum depends on that fort, and it's a broken reed if one knows where the weakness lies.
Yes.
Once the Russians get Kara Gubek, they've turned the main position.
Exactly. And by hook or by crook, we've got to get that information through to them. Peter.
Yeah, Dick.
Peter, old man, the biggest job of your life is before you.
Good. I'm getting stiff with doing nothing.
If you can get this map through to the Grand Duke's staff, Stumm's goose is cooked. In 3 days, the Cossacks will be in the streets of Erzurum.
Let me go. I talk the lingo, and I can pass as a Turk. I'm 1,000,000 times likely to get through. For God's sake, let me go.
You need the captain here, Dick.
Peter's right, Sandy. If you disappear, the whole show's busted too soon, and the 3 of us left behind will be strung up before morning.
Yes.
No, my son. You're going to escape, but it will be with Blenkiron and me. Tell me, how many of the companions will stick by you?
Oh, the whole 6. They'd follow me through hell if I bade them.
Good. Now see here on the map. The Russians are around Erzurum in a broad half-moon. If we can get over the pass unobserved, we're bound to strike a Russian column the next day.
Yes.
We and your 6 ruffians are going to slip off into the darkness.
Well, tomorrow I've got some kind of infernal fast to observe. And the next day, that woman will be coaching me for my part. I believe the best time would be the 3rd night, the eve of the revelation. She's bound to leave me alone that night.
Very well. It won't be much fun sitting waiting and worrying about old Peter, but we must keep our heads and risk nothing by being in a hurry.
Master, she is asking for you.
I'm coming. Here's my hand, Mr. Pinar. You're the bravest man I ever met. Good luck.
Thank you, Captain. I do not say I will succeed, but if I sit in houses much longer, I shall get old.
No, we shall all succeed. You fellows have given me a new lease of life.
Good.
I've got a plan now, and I can set my teeth and stick it out.
God the years to the nose, God
Greenmantle? Have you finished praying? I am not disturbing you. I come each evening to my garden to watch the sun set over Erzurum. Look. Look north. See how the snow-covered heights burn red in the setting sun. Should the Russians try to attack the city, the great hills would run red with their blood. Tomorrow is the eve of revelation. You will spend that night alone in prayer and fasting. The next day, Greenmantle will be shown to the people, and the great army of the faithful will rise and follow us. You look troubled, poet. You seek truth. So also do I, and if we use a lie, it is only to break down a greater. You are of my household in spirit, and you alone of all men I have seen fit to ride with me on my mission. The moon is rising. Come, take off your cloak.
Yes.
It is time for you to don the green ephod. Let me help you. I shall be your handmaiden. Now you are the Gabe Hurye. Oh, how cool the silk. How it shines in the moonlight. Soon the world will shine in the light of a new dawn. A sun will rise which will burn up all who oppose me. You shiver. Are you cold, Greenmantle? Come, poet. My rooms are warm. The fire is burning, my master. The day of our glory is near. Germany may fail, but I shall not fail. None shall thwart Hilda von Ein. None. None!
There were 9 horses for 9 riders. We started 3 hours before dawn on the 3rd day after Peter's departure, the eve of the revelation. Hussein rode first, with me at his side. Sandy followed, a tall figure swathed to the eyes in a cloak. I wanted to speak to him, but somehow I didn't dare. Blenkiron and the other 5 companions brought up the rear.
It is time to leave the road, or we may meet inquisitive folk.
Can you guide us in this mist, Hussein? The devil's own luck.
I do not know, my lord. I had counted on seeing the hills.
We have a map and compass. These make slow travelling. Pray God it lifts. The ground we were riding over was, for all the world, like a Scotch moor. It was bad going, and the fog made it hopeless to steer a good course. Suddenly the mist blew back and revealed a wedge of country right across to the hills beyond. It was a clear view, every object standing out wet and sharp in the light of morning. It showed a bridge with Turkish horsemen drawn up across it, and cavalry pickets moving along the far bank of a river.
Good! Fish him! This mist was sent from hell. These cursed Zaptis have seen us. Our road is cut.
Let's take a chance and cross the river.
No! The cavalry on the other side are moving up.
I don't know how you fellows feel, but I'm not going to be taken. There's nothing much to do except to find a good place and put up a fight. We can sell our lives dearly.
I'm with you, Captain Arbuthnot.
Now, it's how for Leonard we find a place for a stand. The game's against us this time. Go!
We rode towards the hills. On the crest of a rise, I looked down on a broad glen with a road winding up it to a pass in the range. To the south, I saw what I had been watching for. A little hill split the valley, and on its top was a circle of rocks.
Over to the south! There's our fort! If we once reach it, we can hold it for a week! Sit down and ride for it! Allah!
We climbed to the top of the hill, where a circle of rocks formed a natural parapet. Our pursuers never had a chance, for the whole party being not above 24, they were too few. I think we killed 3 and wounded about 6, while the rest fell back toward the road. In a quarter of an hour, it was all over.
Ha! Well done, boys. They're on the run.
That's only the overture. The opera will soon begin.
They are dogs of Kurds. Only a Kurdish Khawar would fire on the livery of the Kaaba.
I turned to look at Sandy. He had discarded his cloak and stood up in the strangest costume man had ever worn in battle. Somewhere he had procured field boots and an old pair of riding breeches. Above these, reaching almost to his knees, he had a wonderful silk jibber of bright emerald. No rarer or costlier garment was ever exposed to bullets on a bleak winter hill.
Oh!
These are ranging shots. The Russians are trying to shell the main road from the heights. It would be an odd irony if we became the targets of friendly guns.
Well, before that, the Turks might get a gun up here and blow us to bits in seconds.
Now, please God, the Russians keep them too busy for that.
Yeah.
Master, there are men moving below in the mist.
Keep your eyes on the fog. Shoot at the first sign.
Greenmantle!
It is she. Hilda von Ein has come for her prophet.
Down there, on the edge of the mist.
I come to offer terms, Richard Hannay. Will you permit me to enter?
Yes, Madame von Ein. She climbed up and stepped over the rocks as lightly as a deer. Her clothes were strange. Spurred boots and breeches over which fell a short green kirtle. A little cap skewered with a jewelled pin was on her head, and a cape hung from her shoulders. She had leather gauntlets on her hands, and she carried for weapon a riding whip. The fog crystals clung to her hair, and a silvery film of mist lay on her garments. As she stood there, her eyes like stars, I had to confess that she had her own loveliness. She might be a devil, but she was also a queen.
Greenmantle.
Madam, I ask you to tell your business quick and to tell it in English. My friends must hear it as well as me.
Your friends? You are the Kaaba Hurye. You wear the green mantle of the Prophet. What has a prince to do with such hirelings?
You must know, madam, that I am a British officer.
Oh. And these others?
One is a brother officer in my regiment, the other is an American friend. But all 3 of us came east to destroy Greenmantle and your devilish ambitions. The people wait today for a revelation, but none will come.
I said I came to offer terms. I will still offer them, though they are other than I thought. For the fat American, I will send him home safely to his own country. I do not make war on such as he. You, Richard Hannay, I will hang before dusk. Greenmantle, I offer you the greatest career that mortal has known. Will you refuse that destiny?
I stay with my friends, madam.
I will be your people and your comrade. We are one in spirit. Will you deny all that has been between us?
You can offer me nothing that I desire. I am the servant of my country, and her enemies are mine. I can have neither part or lot with you. That is my answer, Madam von Ein.
I have done with you. You have scorned me, but you have dug your own grave.
Sandy stood still, his face white except for the crimson wheal left by Hilda von Ein's riding whip. She turned from him and leapt onto the rocky parapet. Once more the mist had risen, and across the hollow I saw a field gun in place, manned by Germans, not Turks. Hilda von Ein waved her hand to them and hastened down the hillside. There came the whistle of a Russian shell. Before I realized what had happened, Sandy was leaping down the hill. They were shooting at him, but he heeded them not. For a moment he was out of sight. Then he came back, walking quite slowly up the slope. He was carrying something in his arms. The enemy fired no more. Sandy laid his burden gently down. The cap had fallen off, and the hair was breaking loose. The face was very white, but there was no wound or bruise on it.
She was killed at once. Her back was broken by a shell fragment. Dick, we must bury her here. You see her. She liked me, and I can make her no return than this.
With infinite slowness, using our hands and our knives, we made a shallow grave beside the parapet. When it was done, we covered her face with the linen cloak which Sandy had worn that morning. He lifted the body and laid it reverently in its place.
I did not know that anything could be so light.
Dusk was falling. The artillery was busy all around the horizon, and it seemed to me that the guns had come nearer. Sandy was watching the road below us with field glasses.
The gun is manned now by Germans and Austrians. There are no Turks. The men of Islam would not fire on the wearer of the green ephod. Oh, there's another gun in the fields to the east. They've got us on both sides. There's no way of escape.
What are they waiting for?
Hello. Ah, here's someone I think we know. Take a look, Dick. The big fella standing just behind the gunners.
It's Stumm. He's come to see the destruction of his enemies.
I reckon that's pretty poor shooting.
No, on the contrary. They know their business. They're bracketing.
Damn!
I think my arm's broken.
Anyone else hurt?
Not me, Dick.
Mr. Blenkiron, are you still with us?
Yes, but I've lost my patience cards.
Hussein, are any of you wounded?
No, Master. Thanks be to Allah.
Well, we may as well toss for it, Dick. There are only two ways. To stay here and be shelled, or to try and break through. Either's pretty unhealthy.
There was no choice. We were pinned to the hilltop. Hilda von Ein was to have a noble pyre and goodly companions for the dark journey.
It's been hours since Stumm has fired. I wonder why.
It's Stumm's way. He's going to blow us to pieces, but he wants to torture us first.
Well, we'll disappoint him. But we won't be worried, old man.
If Peter has succeeded, he might tell the tale. but most likely he's lying dead somewhere in the no-man's land between the lines. As for us, Sandy, we shall never be heard of again.
It's a queer ending, Dick. We simply vanish into the infinite. The snow will soon cover us, and when the spring comes, there will only be a few bleached bones. Upon my soul, it is the kind of death I always wanted.
But our job's done. After all, we never expected to come out of this thing with our lives.
When do you look for the end?
Now. The sun's rising. Stumm wants daylight to get the full savor of his revenge.
It's the Russians! Peter must have got through!
Get down, Dick!
Karagubek has fallen! God, glory to God, we've won!
No. If you jump up and down like that, Major, you get plugged sure and good.
They're not shooting! There are men riding down the glen, hundreds of them!
The gates of the south have yielded! It's the Cossacks! The Cossacks have taken the slope! Hooray! Hooray!
I had never seen a rout before. No more had Stumm, poor devil. He was a brute and a bully, but by God, he was a man. I saw him turn the gun on the maddened horde fleeing before the Cossacks. But he never fired it. The wave flowed round and then across him. I saw the butt ends of rifles crash onto his head and shoulders, and the next moment, the defeated army had passed over his body.
It's God's judgment, Major Hannay. For a man who sets himself above his kind.
Sandy, did you... Where's Sandy?
He and the companions went to meet those Ruskies on horses.
What, the Cossacks?
If that's what they call themselves.
I looked down the glen. There was a cloud of grey cavalry on little wiry horses. A cloud which swept on like a flight of rainbows, with the steel of their lance heads glittering in the winter sun. They were riding for Erzurum. In the very front was one man. He was like the point of the steel spear soon to be driven home. He was turbaned, and against the snow I caught the dark sheen of emerald. He rode like one possessed, and above the din I heard him cry out,
"Well done, our side!"
As he passed, it seemed that the fleeing Turks were stricken still. They sank by the roadside with eyes fixed on his unheeding figure. Then I knew that the prophecy had been true, that their prophet had not failed them. The long-looked-for revelation had come. Greenmantle had appeared at last to an awaiting people.
In Greenmantle by John Buchan, dramatized by Patricia Hannah, Richard Hannay was played by David Robb, Sandy Arbuthnot by James Fleet, John S. Blenkiron, Stuart Milligan, Hilda von Ein, Juliet Aubrey, Peter Pinner, John Glover, Ulrich von Stumm, Jack Claff, Hussein, Hash Shamshun, Balloon Seller, Matthew Pidgeon. Other parts were played by the cast. The director was Bruce Young.